Hi, I'm Blaine Hill. I'm an information technology network and security specialist. I currently work for Quincy University, and I'm going to talk to you today about keeping yourself safe on the internet, specifically at the holidays when you're probably going to be doing more shopping and stuff like that online than you're used to. So I just have a few easy to do, anybody should be able to figure them out types of solutions to help keep you safe. So the first thing I want to talk about today is password security. I'm sure that you have heard this, whether it's from teachers, your parents, your employer, other nerds you know like me, that you should use passwords that are complex, that don't use real words in them, and most importantly, in the context of websites, you should not use the same password for everything. A good password would be strong, has uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. They don't spell real words. It's not very effective to replace letters like an A with an @ sign either. A lot of now password storage tools like LastPass, KeyPass, even your web browser probably has a built-in password storage tool. They can offer computer-generated strong passwords for you. Those are a good choice for passwords, and use something like LastPass or some other kind of encrypted password vault to store your passwords. You can find things like that at LastPass is the one I'm the most familiar with, and I know that Google Chrome also has built-in features related to that. If you don't care to use some sort of password security tool like that, at the very least, don't use the same password everywhere, because when you use the same password everywhere, if the bad guys manage to steal the password anywhere and can tie it to your email address, they will have no trouble at all using that password to get into other things that you own online. Where possible, use two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication means that you will have basically multiple factors to authenticate you. One of those is typically your password. You can also get text messages or use apps that will spit out a code for you to make sure that you authenticate. It adds just an extra layer of security that makes it more difficult for someone on the other side of the world to pretend they're you, because they presumably don't have possession of your cell phone or something like that. Another one of the simplest steps that you can use for protecting yourself on the internet is the use of an ad blocker. Ad blockers like uBlock Origin, AdBlock Plus, etc., remove advertisements from web pages that you visit. Advertisements are not necessarily like themselves a problem, but a popular target for hackers is to introduce viruses and other sorts of malicious code into ads that are syndicated across many websites. And those things tend to get removed by Google or whomever else handles the ads very quickly, but it's a not uncommon method of attack to affect large numbers of people with viruses that can appear in ads even on legitimate websites. So one of the easiest things you can do to protect yourself online is to just use an ad blocker. Another good thing, especially since we're at the holiday season and people are doing a lot of shopping online, is to make sure that you are using a website that is who they say they are. So there's this thing called a certificate that basically when you're accessing secure websites, they should be serving you. You would see this in your web browser. Most likely there's like a lock or some other kind of line to the left-hand side of the address bar. Whenever you see a red line or an unlocked padlock or anything like that, what that indicates basically is that the website is supposed to be serving you a certificate that you could think of as being sort of like their driver's license. It's how they say, I am this. You can tell because of complex computer things that have to do with encryption. But your computer knows how to see that certificate and understand that this is Amazon.com that I'm currently visiting. Because it's possible when you try to visit Amazon.com that someone could redirect your traffic to something that looks like Amazon.com but isn't Amazon.com and might try to steal your information. But if you see that green lock or an indication that HTTPS is working, for instance, that's a strong indication that the website that you're on is legitimately the website that you're trying to access. And the last advice I have to offer for you today is some of the, I'm sure you've heard this from someone before. If you receive an email you weren't expecting, or from someone you don't know, or even if it is from someone who's at least claiming to be someone you know, and there are attachments in that email, if you were not expecting attachments or you don't know what those attachments might be, don't open them. Attachments are one of the most common ways for an email to try and transmit a virus to your computer. Similarly, if a link, like a website link in an email, doesn't make any sense, don't click on it. If you don't know the sender, don't click on it. Those are just pretty common sense, straightforward ways to avoid the most common kinds of ways that hackers or other bad guys will try to steal your information or gain access to your computer without your permission. And if you are ever concerned that you have been hacked, you should talk to someone you trust or report it to law enforcement officials. I hope that these will be some tools that help you stay safe on the internet as we go into the holiday season and beyond. And thanks for spending some time with me today.